Oh yeah, Kelsey!
This is DP here with the Mustang Report, and I'm here with chemistry teacher Mr. Douglas for Teacher of the Week. So, Mr. Douglas, what got you into teaching?
Well, a lot of things actually. One of the things that I'm fortunate enough is that I have had really good mentors. I'm the son of a single mother, and so I spent a lot of time, since I couldn't go home, I spent a lot of time at both churches, but more importantly at the school. And I had a lot of really amazing mentors who helped me become someone that I am today. And when I think about what I wanted to do when I was older, all my friends, they wanted to be something. They wanted to be doctors and lawyers and other things. But I myself, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I always tell my students that the one thing I did know is that I wanted to make a difference. And I remember when I was a chemical analyst prior to becoming a teacher, I went into the schools, and that's where I thought I made the most difference. And so I started to think about teaching and how we don't have enough representation in our schools. A lot of the science teachers at this school, as well as other schools, happen to not be people of color. And I kept thinking of how come we don't have as many minorities, or how come we don't have as many people of color in those fields. And I started to think, like, we should have more people of color who are teachers. And so I decided to become that teacher. So, yeah.
And what are some of your hobbies outside of school?
Outside of school, I don't know. I teach a lot, so so it takes up a lot of time. Shout out to all the teachers out there who are spending a lot of their extra time. But the one thing I'll say is, for me, I really love. I love photography. That's something I love to do. Photography is something that I think I got into when I was 14. Able to change the world, or at least the way you see it. And so I love that. I have my own YouTube channel. Go YouTube that. Like, subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. Feel free, it is out there. Feel free to go look at videos of my sister and the rest of my family. I love being able to play basketball. I grew up playing basketball. In Boston, I can't find anybody to play with, but sponsor or plug to all the people who want to play tennis. Tell them come B13, 310, get my room right. B310, because I love to play tennis. I love poetry. I haven't done it yet in my class yet, but at some point they're gonna get a little taste of some of my poetry.
So what brought you here to Boston? Because I know you're originally from Seattle.
Well, it's a funny story actually. My family, they kicked me out of Seattle. Real story. My mom, like I said, was a single mom, and so I had to take care of my grandparents when I was growing up because I was, I guess, I wasn't the oldest, but I was the one who was always around the farm. And it meant that I stayed local. When I went to college, I stayed in Seattle and got my undergrad. When I graduated, I stayed there, helping to support my little sister, who is 17. And so I wasn't able to travel. During the holidays, all my friends, they got to travel. Me, my mom, she was a single mom, so we weren't able to ever take time off and do that kind of stuff. And so when I was 26, my grandmother, after having a really good doctor checkup, she gave me $100, and she told me that she loved the fact that I was always here for our family, and that she loved the fact that I could be counted on. However, she knows that I wanted to see the world. All my cousins, my brother, they got to leave. She said that next year I don't want you to be here. I want you to be living someplace else. That next week, I told my supervisor, and I had to put in my 2 weeks. He was like, why? And I was like, because my grandma said I had to leave. I don't know why, but she said I had to leave. And then about 2 weeks later, I got a chemical analyst position in Boston, which happened to be Mansfield, but that's its own thing.
And what would be one thing you would want to say to today's group of high school students?
The one thing I would tell you, as much as I love chemistry, first of all, I love science and love all of those different things, but the one thing I would tell you is do the best you can to make a difference. Do the best you can to represent your families and your communities and do a really important job of doing good. I myself think that if every person went out there and changed one life, we'd be able to do a lot of things. But it takes someone who goes out there and wants to do that. It has to be a goal, and it's something that I think is important in everything that we do, including teaching. And so I like to hope that all of my students get that when they see me in their class.
The purpose of this Credit for Life Fair is to help you make some financial decisions. You're going to make mistakes. That's okay. It's almost like a game in a way. Imagine yourself at age 25 in the job that you chose, the occupation that you chose, and you wrote down on that pink sheet. You have received a budget sheet when you walked in here. On the day of the fair, you are going to receive a personalized sheet that is just for you. It'll have your name, the occupation that you chose, your salary, your deductions, that means the money that comes out of your paycheck. You'll be given a credit score. You'll be given a credit limit on your credit card, and you'll be given an amount of money in your savings account. The students in the vocational business program are making those. and each one is individual. We have over 380 students participating. You're going to have a booth, right? There's going to be 15 booths all around the gym. Each booth is going to have a large sign above it that tells you it's housing, it's transportation, it's utilities, it's credit counseling, whatever it is. You will see that. You will also, that day, on your folder, you will have a number 1 and a booth name and a number 2 and a booth name. This is important. Those are the booths that you will visit for your first and second booths. We have over 300 students. We can't have everybody rushing to the housing booth or the insurance booth. So you will be given an order of the first 2 booths that you're going to visit. After that, it's up to you how you want to visit them. But you have to visit all of them. And credit counseling halfway through and credit counseling at the end. So you will be given direction about the first 2 booths that you're going to visit. Okay, that'll be on your folder, on the label of your folder that day, along with your name and your occupation.